Greetings my friends, and welcome to a brand new campaign summary for episode 96 of the Great Britain campaign. Now, in the previous episode, as you can see here, we have brought about a peace with Poland here, and we absolutely gave them a real thrashing as they were moving towards Amsterdam. We did give them a real good beating there, of course, bringing our finest troops into position here to really put a halt to that. We've also, as you can see down in the south here, along the Carpathian Mountain, or about the Alps, should I say, as you can see here, we've sort of created this salient here, this sort of almost this Damocles sword hanging over Vienna and Hungary. Now, Vienna being an absolute principal capital and also production and military sort of centre for the Poles. As you can see, look at the income, look how wealthy this is here. 11,869 every single year. It really is extraordinary. I mean, look at the regional wealth. It's extraordinary. It really is. So Vienna accounts for a huge proportion of the income, the trade, the production, the military might of the Poland. As you can see here, they've sort of brought about a huge influx of troops in and around the region here, and in and around the capital here to defend it. That's how important it is to them. We can also say the same for Prague to a lesser extent, and indeed Dresden as well. We've also got Berlin here, of course, in the north, but that's not defended very well at all. The council has said this be one of our principal targets. Look how weakly defended it is. Not a single force in sight, apart from the defenders here. That's a good defensive force, though. That would be, look at that, Bohemian Grenadiers. You look at that light infantry. They would be a real fight, that would there, but I don't think it's anything we couldn't overpower. They've got a lot of dragoons, so that is a future prospect of us hitting there. We've also got another force that's here, sort of in Magdeburg, and that is a powerful force. That really is a very strong force, particularly with the Grenadier Guards here. Plenty of artillery, not all of it at full capacity here, but still, I think that would be quite a tussle. And indeed, they've put in two medium-sized armies on the frontier here, but let's be honest, they're not going to stop our armies here. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is an extraordinary army. That's one of many. Our armies really do compose of some significantly elite troops. They really do. So you can see we've got another force here. Again, a standard force, but that's not to be sniffed at all. These forces really have put in the legwork here for us. Look at that again. Just guarding the border, waiting for... I mean, look at this. Packed to the rafters with some wonderful troops, particularly the Swiss Guards, who really are absolutely elite. And that includes the Swiss Grenadiers as well. Again, really up there with some of the best forces you can muster. And again, we've got these packed with some of the original fighting forces. This Royal Welsh Fusiliers is one of the first elite, in inverted commas, regiments we ever managed to sort of recruit, and they've been absolutely wonderful. They've blitzkrieged quite a lot of France and sort of Central Europe. And again here on this flank as well, another standard army, but just got that little bit of a backbone here as well of garrison guards. We've got to retrofit this army as well with 3 more cuirassiers. We'll have to do that as well. I'm sure we can. Look at that. They were trying to put together another force here in Frankfurt. So this is just the beginnings, the blueprint of another force. Look at that, even including Marines, which is a wonder. And of course, most of our towns are garrisoned by some excellent troops here, including some that have got Royal British Grenadiers and also Life Guards, which is excellent to see here. Strasbourg, which pretty much the gateway into Central Europe. If Strasbourg was taken, it really would open up the doorway here to sort of some of our more important assets, as it were. So we've got a very strong force defending, an incredibly experienced force as well. Here in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, which is one of the first major cities we took here, we've got a very good defensive force. As you can see, only 1 cuirassier here, but the rest is infantry. So if we really had to knuckle down in a really strong defence against multiple armies, this army would do a significant amount of damage. And again, in Brussels, another wonderful force. Now this force will probably be pulled out from here. This is too much of an excellent force to be a sort of a garrison duty. So what we'll probably do is build a specific garrison force for Brussels. because that's a force we can't really have loitering about here in sort of garrison duty. We need them on the front lines. Talking of the front lines, if you move into Paris here and you move into France proper, the Spanish really have been an absolute thorn in our side, launching attack upon attack from northern Spain, northern Italy. They've been really aggressive in their exploits here. As you can see here, we're trying to replenish and repair multiple towns, multiple villages that have been under attack. Here Lyon again is under attack, but they're sending their forces in. We've got another force. They're coming up the sort of the coast road here from Marseille all the way to Paris. Of course, Paris being their ultimate goal. Another force here. That's a much stronger force. That really is a powerful force, including the Swiss line, Swiss Grenadiers, Grenadier Guards, and also some Royal Cuirassier Guards. A wonderful array of cavalry here as well. So we've just got to be on our guard here that we don't get caught out. However, we have brought our own significant reinforcements here to put an end to the exploits of the Spanish here. Look at this. That's a wonderful force. Custom built to deal with such an event. And we've also got another force here which will be joining. I mean, look at that. Irish Volunteers, Green Jackets, Royal British Grenadier Guards, plenty of cannon, even horse guards. So as you can see, we're ready to move in. We're going to move an army group up here, and we're going to move and push against down the sort of the Paris to Marseille road here, taking Lyon, taking Dijon. All of these towns are going to be taken back. We've also got another force here. Look at that. That's an absolute wonder. General Raptor here has got a significant force here that is chasing down the remnants of this Spanish force that attacked us in Brest and also moved against Nantes. So again, we are trying to push them back. And to that end, the council, because I was debating whether to do this or not, and the council said, Mali, you have to go for it. We've got to put an end to the sort of the Spanish redoubt here in northern Italy. And that is to move against Turin. So as you can see, we've moved in a very powerful. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Under Field Marshal Unuk, our principal commander, the commander-in-chief of all our forces in Europe. And he's moved in here. He's taken his extremely powerful force here, his army, and he's attacked Turin, backed by another formidable force. General Charles bringing in Marines, bringing in Royal Cuirassier Guards, bringing in some probably some of the finest troops we have at our disposal. Another army here, look at that, my goodness me. General Lincoln bringing in equally. So I would say, and I know there's some who say, man, perhaps you've got other armies, but these three armies here are the most powerful armies that we have. But because we don't have the sort of yet, we don't have the production facilities. I know that many of you look at Britain and say, man, look at that. You've got London, which is probably the major production centre in the entire world at this time. And I'm not going to disagree with that. We're also trying to put together some additional forces here to send across to Europe, including these cannon as well. And we've also got Edinburgh fully prepared. Again, we've got to retrofit some of these forces here. There's just not good enough. We've still got 12 pounders in here. Not good enough at all. But again, we're trying to move forces. Look at that, Irish Volunteers moving down towards London to join the Guards here. So as you can see, we really are pushing against, and it was the council's request. They said, Mali, you have to do something about the Spanish here in the north, otherwise you're going to be continually raided like we are here. And once we've dealt with this here, once we've dealt with this Spanish redoubt here, this triumvirate here of Spanish forces and cities and towns here. Look at these forces here. Been an absolute thorn in our side, especially here. We've got to put an end to it. So we're going to move in very aggressively against them here. Take this, hoping to link up with the forces in Naples, so it was straight from the rear into Rome. If we take Rome, that would be a huge loss for Spain. It really would. Look at that. 10,000 coming in there. What a wonder that would be. 23,000 regional wealth, which is pretty extraordinary, to be honest with you. If we were to take all of Italy, it would give us not only the access to North African Spanish assets, but also it would give us access to effectively the rear of the Spanish Empire in the Mediterranean. Now, it is still very strong, and we don't know. We've got no eyes here at all. No eyes at all here in Tangier, Gibraltar, so we don't know what's here, but it's going to be pretty powerful, I'd imagine. And again, we do have Egypt, so we are sort of holding this one sort of asset, this one crown jewel, as it were, in the Middle East, held by a very strong force here against a very powerful Russian state. As you can see, look at the Russians, they are just absolutely huge. If I'm not mistaken, they are actually backing the Poles, if that is still the case. Allies? No, it's not. They're not allies anymore. They're not even trade partners. Their allies are only Spain and the Mughal Empire. So Poland is by itself. Mind you, Poland is an absolute monster, a titan with its own right, but we are up against three formidable foe. Three of probably the real titans, the real behemoths of this campaign: Spain, Russia, and eventually Poland. The peace of Poland will only be for a very, very short amount of time before war breaks out again. We are allied with Sweden here. Hopefully our attacks upon the Poles have weakened them significantly, but again, Russia has got Stockholm, and if Copenhagen falls, that means we can have Russian troops in the north here being able to move through Denmark into Hanover. That's going to be a real problem. So we might have to do something about this ourselves if it comes to the crunch. We can't allow the Russians to move and take Copenhagen. If that falls, it'll effectively leave our the back door open for the Russians to attack us, especially if we're heavily engaged with the Poles. We've just got to be careful here. We've got our spies in strategic positions here, just keeping an eye on the movements on the front here. Königsberg again is seeing a little bit of movement here, not too much. Warsaw, it's the capital. I don't think is well defended, but we could always send another force up here. But the Russian Empire, the Polish Empire, stretches all the way to Minsk. So even our wonderful combat we've gone through at the moment has effectively stabilised. We've managed to take Munich, which was the last sort of great bastion that we've taken from the Poles, but it'll take a significant drive, I think, probably more in the centre and the north here. So I think Berlin and Dresden are going to be our main targets if we go to war with them again, or when we go to war with them again. We have to clear the front first and then push against Berlin and Dresden and sort of almost have a pincer attack where you move from Munich and strike against Vienna, and then move from Berlin and Dresden to take Prague, and you effectively then have a solid line running from the Baltic Sea all the way to Prague, and then you sort of move up here to be able to push against Vienna, because Vienna is going to be an absolute titanic battle. It really is. And you can see the size of the city. It's a huge city. It really, really is one of the principal cities in Europe. So that's going to be a very, very tough fight for us, but it'll also give us access here to be able to cross into the Balkans. If we take Rome, it'll give us direct access into the rear of the Poles again. So using this force, this army group here, we could even additional the forces here. Now Spain has backed away from attacking us here. We've got very, very strong defensive positions here. So if they sort of move into this, they're going to start biting into some very, very well dug in troops here, which we have moved across from Egypt. Egypt's been the principal supplier of the troops we have moving into southern Italy, I beg your pardon. As you can see, we've still got this Spanish force here. That's a powerful force as well that might attack the rear here. But we are dug in here, so they'll be attacking a very, very well fortified position. We could put a settlement of fortifications, but again, we want to keep our money intact as best we can. We're hoping to break the north so that we can move into the south here and really hit them hard. They're giving us access then eventually, once we've cleared all of Italy of Spanish, maybe giving us access into the Balkans and into the sort of the rear, as it were, of the Polish Empire. And of course, ultimately, we want to move against Madrid and take Lisbon and Portugal, just rip away some of these forces here. But you can see the Spanish Navy isn't significant, but they got another army in there as well. Look at our trade coming in here, 10,000. Look at Poland's 31,000. That's extraordinary. But we do also here, as you can see, my friends, we've got some very, very strong, some very powerful fleets, which we are trying to keep together, so we don't lose the power of those fleets when they're together. Look at that. steamships, Elizabeth, the whole kit caboodle here. It really is. We've got some wonderfully powerful forces, and we're building another navy here in Portsmouth. So another navy's been constructed here just to give us a little bit more zeal on the high seas, as it were. And again, we've got a lot of trade coming in from here. When it joins the trade from the New World, it does give us a significant income. Now, the New World, as you can see, we've got trade coming in here from Newfoundland. We've also got Arcadia under our control. We're also allied with the United States, and you can see the United States is starting to really expand now very, very aggressively. And it really is a wonder to see, because we do need a very strong United States, a real strong ally, not only in North America, but in the greater sort of scheme of things as well. Again, we haven't been able to push against any of the Spanish assets here. But we're hoping to be able to move against them eventually, maybe getting an army into the region. We've got an army here, but it's in tatters as well, and we haven't replenished either. That is a real oversight on my part. Look at that. That army is not at full strength by any means, and that's on my shoulders. That hasn't been replenished. So we'll definitely have to make sure that's okay there. Arcadia is okay as well, because we are in close proximity to the United States, so they should be able to help us if they get any problems. Look at that, they got these Marines as well in here, and American infantry mercenaries. That's a wonder, it really, really is, to see the United States growing so fast. But I imagine eventually they will probably push all of North America into their control, unless they've got agreements with Louisiana. Russia in Upper Louisiana, which is confusing to say the least. Venice have Rupert's Land. But again, this is just our first stepping stone into the New World. But we're hoping to use this army to more aggressively, maybe striking some of the Spanish assets here in the Caribbean, maybe the Leeward Islands, maybe Santo Domingo, which would be a real kick hard there for the Spanish. Or maybe even Cuba, which really is the jewel in the crown of Spanish assets here. Of course, we are at peace with New Spain, which is good to see. I don't think New Spain would do too much if Spain was removed from the Caribbean. I think they're more interested in what they got coming in. As you can see, 29,000 gold coming in here, so I think they'd be more interested in losing trade than anything. And of course, then we've got the Mughal Empire we're at peace with. We do have trade with them as well, we do, yes, but look at that, Mughal, nearly 60,000 coming in there, 70,000 here. My goodness me, that's a lot. They are extremely wealthy. They've even taken Afghanistan as well. They're right up to the Persian border, but mind you, Persia has been taken by Russia as well, so again, we're up against some very, very strong forces. But our main fight is with Spain here in Italy. This is where we're going to be concentrating most of the campaign for the foreseeable future, unless things change with Poland, and unless things change with Russia moving in and maybe, hopefully, not crushing the Swedes, because with the loss of Stockholm, it's going to be a huge blow to them, unless they can retake it themselves. Mind you, they have taken Karelia and Archangel here, so that would be... And also, look at that, there's rebels in St. Petersburg, but that's a real loss there for the Russians. But again, our main goal here is Spain for the moment, northern Italy, and then eventually moving down to the south here and taking that. But that, my friends, is a campaign summary for the Great Britain campaign. It'll be coming up next, my friends. I'd like to thank all of you for wonderful support and advice and all this from this campaign, but all the others, my friends. But the next time you hear from me will be in the campaign proper. See you then, my friends. Greetings and welcome to episode 96 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod Great Britain campaign. This, my friends, is how we left it last time. I hope you've all enjoyed the summary, my friends. We just bring us up to speed with this campaign. Our first order, I think, in this particular episode is to deal with the Spanish threat in France. Now, we've got them pinned here. We've got them under siege. We've also drawn in a significant amount of their forces. A good chance we've drawn in everything you can see here in the area. Perhaps not the one in Milan. I think Milan might be slightly out of range, although they might just about reach into this battle here. I'm not 100% sure. No, I don't think they will. Perhaps the one here in Genoa might be drawn in. That's a brutal battle. It will be a tough fight. The Spanish still have some excellent forces here, particularly, look at that. That force there is going to be a very tough fight indeed. But we've got three of our finest armies here. They really are absolutely the finest we can muster here. We had to send in the best of the best into this region, because we knew we'd be up against the best the Spanish have to offer. But this fight won't take place just yet. What we have to do, we have to clear France of the Spanish threat here. It's become an absolute menace. They've constantly moving up the Paris, sort of the Marseille-Paris road, which has been blockading, as you can see here, subjugating pretty much all the towns along the way, which has been really troublesome for us, including a very fine infantry, a very fine army indeed here. As we discussed in the summary, this army again not of the same calibre, but still going to be a very tough one, particularly with the pikemen here. Now we do have these two armies standing by here ready to attack. We might move in here, I think, against this army here. It won't draw in this army here, so we can pick them off one by one. I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to bring this army into reserve. We're going to use this army here to batter our way in here, retake Dijon, and then we're going to move down to Lyon. By then we'll be able to bring in this army here. We don't have a general here for this, so any member of the council would like this army under their command. Of course, that can be arranged and will be arranged, my friends. That will give us time to bring this army then into the fold. We have got this armed group then steaming down here, taking all the Spanish forces apart here. We've also got another army here, which is still not at full strength either. I believe it's not at full strength. No, it is at full strength. I do beg your pardon. I'm just going to remove these last vestiges of this army that we dealt with in and around Nantes, and also I believe Brest as well. We might then move these armies here, these four armies, into Spain. Now the council has called for us to move into Spain here and do some significant damage here. As you can see, the Bilbao here, still bringing in a significant amount of coin. So if we were to move in, we might be able to pull the Spanish out from here. That would be a real boom, because as you can see, Madrid is not well defended by any means. So that might just play into our hands here indeed. We might be able to take the Spanish capital here, the beating heart of Spain, whilst we also attack the redoubt here in northern Italy. We've also held here a significant Spanish force here as well, outside Naples, but I think we're going to move against this force here. First thing we're going to do is just move within striking distance. There it is. What the place? And it's even brought in the other army down here. Then this is the fight we wanted. This is the fight we're going to take, my friends. What an absolute wonder. Luckily we brought in the reserve, otherwise we would be facing quite the fight here. This is two elite armies up against each other here, and then we have the sort of the reserve armies. But as you can see, ours are looking in very splendid fashion here. We've got a more of a build that's been put together quite well here. The army really has been composed very well of what we need to deal with the task at hand, whereas the Spanish force is more of a ragtag, sort of a bit of everything here. Ours is more consistent, so that's the word I'm looking for, in what we're bringing to the fight here. Plenty of cavalry, plenty of infantry to back them up here. We've got some wonderful cannon support, but we really do have the wonder British Fusiliers here, and also the Grenadier Guards, some Scotch Line infantry as well, some knock volley guns. They can be brutal at short range, and also some Swiss line as well, which is excellent. And of course the Scottish line infantry here, and also some Ferguson riflemen who are excellent marksmen. They really are. So we're up against a very tough Spanish force here indeed, and also a more experienced general, but that shouldn't count against us here. Let's take this fight, my friends. Let's assault Dijon. It's going to be an absolute wonder. It really is. If we can break this Spanish force here, or two Spanish forces here, it'll open the way here to be able to send that army into Spain proper, or should I say these armies. We can replenish and repair. We can send these armies into Spain proper. And what a fight that would be. striking at Madrid. That would absolutely catch them on the hop here. Now, for somebody to look at the topography here of the battlefield. We got a wide deployment zone and also a long deployment zone as well. Is it longer though than I believe it does? It look at this. The Spanish deployment zone is much shorter than ours. Much shorter. This gives us the overlapping onto the flanks here, which will just suit us, but we'd only have one regiment of cuirassiers. That's the real problem we have here. This is made up mainly of infantry, absolutely top of the line infantry, but our weakness is our cavalry. But we do have some very excellent marksmen here, some good cannon. Let's pull our forces back here so we can get a more of a clearer gentleman. Thank you. General Faramir, who is leading this attack here. Wonderful general. And also here, Fusiliers. Now, we can cut the road here, which is the road they're travelling to try and from Marseille to Paris. So in the distance, way in the distance there is Paris, and behind us would be sort of Marseille right on the coast, which is probably behind that hill there, or that mountain, should I say, there. So this is the Marseille to Paris road here, leading here. We've stopped them dead in their tracks here. Now, if they're obviously going to be deployed in this small here, just inside this hamlet. So we've got them boxed in here. So we're going to have to use our artillery here to good effect to keep them pinned in as best we possibly can here. Let's just, actually, I think we'll divide them into two separate. We do have shrapnel shot, which is excellent, but doesn't travel very far, unfortunately. Does the shrapnel shot extend far enough? We don't know. Can't tell from here, but I think we won't put shrapnel shot just yet. What we will do is we'll have... I know why. Let's unlimber first. That would help. We have been caught a number of times before we've done that. Now, there, that's more like it, sir. Now, quick line that extends quite far into the deployment zone. Shrapnel shot, I'm not sure will. No, there it is here. So we won't have shrapnel shot with our round shot. That'll cover the entirety of their deployment zone and beyond. Indeed, here is where the shrapnel shot range ends. So we will use a combination of both. Once they get closer into the tree line here, we'll start using shrapnel shot. That will really put some firepower into the mix there. We've got General Faramir here. We're going to just set here as well, I think. We've got to be careful we don't get caught on the flanks by their reinforcements. Ours will come in at a much later date. Theirs will be fed into the battle as it progresses. We've also got some Ferguson riflemen here. And we've got our cuirassiers there. Let's come take a closer look. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is an absolute joy. And they're also hidden here. So we might set a trap here. In here and ambush them. I think we're going to ambush them. Or we might set a line here. A defensive line in the front here of these riflemen, and we can also set some horse stakes as well. So let's do this. We've got our cuirassiers, which we might hold back, I think. We'll just hold them back so we can deploy them where we see fit. We're going to also protect our flanks, although they're probably coming from this flank here, if I'm not mistaken, or they might come from the left flank here, because I know they're not, or it might even come down the road here. So we'll definitely put some of our Fusiliers on the flanks. Let's put our Swiss line here right at the vanguard of the defence here. Look at that. That is a magnificent sight. It really is. Look at that. These gentlemen really are some of the finest troops you can. We'll just set them slightly back here from that tree. Let's get them lined up here properly in front of the artillery so we can defend that artillery properly. We'll also put some regiments here of the Scottish Line Infantry British artillery. Oh, look at that. That is an absolute joy to see. Look at those gentlemen there. Just waiting here. Highlanders. Again, a good strong defensive position here. Another regiment here on the left. Again, we're keeping that close cooperation between the regiments. And last but not least is this regiment here. Remember, we want to try and keep some of the Fusiliers on the flanks as well. We might even try and keep some in reserve, just so we can feed them into the battle as it progresses. I think we'll have some Fusiliers here on the right. Again, just arcing these. I just set them here at the moment. Are they going to... Oh, they're hidden in the long grass. That's a wonder. And also they can deploy stakes as well. Oh, that's going to be a wonder. And we've got the Royal British Grenadier Guards. Now we'll have some more Fusiliers here on the left flank as well. Just following the undulations here of the battlefield, but again, we're going to deploy some stakes on the flanks. Now that's a very strong defensive line, but so we've got some. We are going to put our. Oh, we got the knock volleys, of course. We want these gentlemen. We might put them on this flank here, just so when they come in. I'm wondering if we have these cannon here in the front lines. We might do that. Let's just move things out of the way here. Let's get the regiment of artillery here in the front line, so they can be used. So the cannon shot can be used. We'll then also just adjust our lines slightly here. Let's do this right, because these are fights we need to take. If we can destroy these Spanish armies, it'll open up our ability to move into Spain proper. And then they'll know what they've done. Then they'll know they've set opportunity event. Now they're very, very close. We might just put. I wonder if we put them in the trees here and hide them. Are they hidden? They are indeed. Look at that. We might be able to get a couple of volleys off, some close support here. We want to put some Ferguson riflemen in the front here to add a little layer of protection. But again, we'll just take out these here and put up this regiment, artillery regiment here. Oh, that's more like it. That's a wonder. Oh, the Scottish line infantry here. Gentlemen, please. That's more like it. And here as well, on the left. Oh, look lively, lads. A little bit too close here. That's more like it. And then on the flanks, the Fusiliers. We will set our Fusiliers, our reserves will be in place when we need them. We've got these gentlemen here now. We've got the howitzers, which will just set back a little bit further. Fusiliers on the flanks. Now we've got a good complement here of reserves. We've got our Ferguson riflemen, which we're going to set to guard the cannon. More like it. And also on this flank as well, they might overlap slightly, but we've just got to be careful what we're doing here. Yeah, they overlap a little bit, so we'll just set them by here. Ah, excellent, look at that. Good line of a solid front line here with some with each gentleman right in the front here. Now the reserves, we've got one Fusilier, one Royal Grenadier Guards. We'll set them on the flanks here to meet anything coming in. We'll just take them off fire at will, just in case. Actually, they're not going to hit anything anyway. They're out of range there. We've also got a Scottish Line Infantry Regiment and another Fusiliers here. I'll set these gentlemen right back here if we can. Oh, look at that. They're going to hit that. So we'll take them off fire at will at the moment. Cuirassiers, which will just set on this flank here. And that, my friends, should be ready to go. We've got some reserves. We've got a really strong defensive position here. That's much more like it. Much more like it. Very strong defensive line. We've got to crack this Spanish army. Let's begin. Look at that. They're really heavy on this flank here. Not quite. Oh my gosh, they've got rockets. Oh my gosh, they're going to cause absolute havoc. Deal with these as quickly as we possibly can. Those rockets cannot be... they'll obliterate our line. Look at that. Wow. Got to deal with these. That is going to destroy our front lines entirely if we don't get them. Ignore everything else, gentlemen. Ignore everything else. Where's the reinforcements? No reinforcements just yet. There they are there. Kill them all. We've got to get rid of this regiment here. They're going to destroy our front lines otherwise. They've gone off the horse. Come on, lads, come on. Go on, let's deal with their artillery. Get stuck in there, lads. That's it, well in there. Oh, that's a wonder. We've absolutely butchered these regiments here. We've had to kill, we've had to sacrifice. They've killed a good amount of their own troops as well. That's a wonder to see. Here we go, here we go. Give him a good volley, lads. Give him a good volley. Here they come, here they come. hold the line. We've taken a real beating here along this front. We've got a hold here. Stakes. They're gone, but my goodness me, what a job they did. They did a wonderful. Here we go. Well done, lads, well done. Oh, we caught them right on the hole there with those stakes. Actually deploy stake, no. Forward square, lads, forward square. They caught us there. Oh, we're going to catch the stakes. Perfect. Oh, look at that. They've got our guns. This flank's going to cop it real hard here. Oh, they've gone. We're going to switch flanks. Oh, don't just dawdle, sir. Oh, they've gone. Why didn't they gone? Get these little knock volleys in. Move it, lads, move. They're determined to break our lines here. Oh, they're gone. These pikemen have absolutely obliterated our lines here. What a fight this has been on the front lines here, my goodness me. There's a lot of Spanish reinforcements. Yes, here come ours. This flank here is going to come under a tremendous strain here. Almost got this flank cleared here. Come on, gentlemen, come on. Wow. This is where this cavalry is going to come into its own. It really is. We've got them. We've got them. To Anglo attack. Got them. I'm going to clear this entire flank here. They're wavering, get them, lads. going to put an end to this Spanish incursion all the time. They're incursion. Get him, lads, put him to the sword. I'm going to break every single one of these regiments. Wow, they're doing really well to hold on to their... Got to shatter them. Double time. Come on, gentlemen. Got him. They're gone. I'll take care of all of these forces here. They've held on really well there. Come on. Shatter them. Gentlemen. Yes, what a fight. Gone, regiment's gone. Take care of this one. Oh, look at that, dragoons. No, destroy this entire regiment, please. Please, so no one, so the mercenaries know what comes of them if they attack us. Come on, put them to the sword, sir. We just about held onto this line here. Just about. Where the blazes are you going, sir? Back in formation. We're going to wipe out every possible regiment we can here. Swiss line if they're gone. I'm not going to give them a moment's respite. Turn on them, lads, well done. Back in line, please, gentlemen. Back in line. Follow your orders, sir. We fought magnificently here, we really did. We've got some generals, oh my gosh, we've lost some generals. Also, General Faramir has also been injured. They also killed 2 Spanish generals as well. Yes, we've got them. Come on, lads, put an end to this regiment here. Gone. Swiss Jaeger, wait a minute. They've gone. Look at that. That's a far more concern What a battle this has been, my goodness me. Oh, they've both gone. We've both broken at the same time. Wow. That's some serious friendly fire. Try to deal with these down here. Wow, what a battle that was, my goodness me. Let's get out there, let's face these. Look at that. Oh no, that is the dragoons, they've come off the horse. Looks like the last stand here. Yes, they come off their horse. The last stand. With the Jaegers and the dragoons. Wow, dealt with this, deal with these. Losing slightly. Oh, that's going to hurt in the morning. They've gone. They've had enough. Oh, they've gone as well. They've had enough. They've had enough, yes. What a battle that was, my goodness me, they pushed us hard there. That really was a tough fight. We lost 2,020, that's a lot of men, but look at that, we destroyed nearly all their troops, 4,000. Statistics, look at that, cuirassiers once again pulling us out there with the fire. But look at the Swiss line, as I said, absolutely as tough as nails, even the British Royal British Grenadier Guards, look at that, what a wonder. Every single regiment did their duty here, look at these, the cuirassiers are up. They've done absolutely that. That is the power of cavalry, which we didn't have in those. But look at how we've pushed them back away here. And now we can replenish them. And we can also replenish and repair this. The armies can be brought up to full strength. Our generals who are injured. What we'll do is we'll just bring our generals back. That's a wonder.
Yes.
General Faramir will be back. He's injured at the moment. But look at that fighting, my goodness me, what a brutal fight that was.
Yes.
We can't get in here because we quite can't reach, but we will take that. But now we've cleared the road. That's been replenished. That's going to be replenished as well. And repair, we've now pushed them back here to Revence. Look at that army, that's all that's left. The other army's been completely decimated. But they might attack our rear there, but that doesn't matter, that's okay. We can move these armies now into Spain proper. We might just reinforce these armies of one more additional force. Perhaps this force here is now battle hardened. We might move this army into here and then move these 3 regiments of these 3 armies. The army group, because remember 3 armies comprises of an army group. We might move these army groups, this army group then into Spain proper. Maybe heading for Madrid, that would be an absolute. If we take Madrid, wow, what a wonder that would be. We've got 28,000. I know. Also, we've got to replenish and repair this army here. But we, for some reason, was just left abandoned here, which we can't allow to happen. Wow. And also bring these forces together here. Country. We're recruiting here, no we're not. I think we might start some recruitments here. Oh, Brunswick Dragoons, look at that. I think we'll have some Brunswick Dragoons here. And let's bring a general in here where we can as well. We've got 3, we need some cannon. That's going to be our first order of business. Mind you, we might get some rocket troops ourselves because they were absolutely brutal. Oh, Fusiliers as well. But not here in Britain, I don't think. Can we get improved? We can. They're fixed artillery though. But we might just get that. Their range is pretty hefty. But I know we need 3 howitzers. What do we have in terms of...
Your humble servant.
We got no cavalry, but I think we'll go for 4 regiments of cavalry as well. We've got some hussars as well. Sharpshooters. Cuirassiers. I think that will suit us for the moment. We've also got the Brunswick Dragoons, so we'll use them, their heavy cavalry as well. We're stabilised this front here. I wonder what will happen here. I think we might just end the turn here, my friends, and see what happens. I'd like to bring these to here, if possible. And there as well. I think we might end the turn and just see what comes our way. We've pretty much got the English Channel sealed here. Let's get another heavy first rate while we can. Let's end the turn here. Let's just see what happens. We've got 19,614. Trade is good. Mughal Empire is a little bit... I was being raided here. America, we've got lots of furs coming in here. Approval rating is through the roof. We do need probably a better diplomat here. Bon voyant. I think we might have this gentleman here. Mistress. It might be a better head. I think we need to get, because he's not giving us anything at all. Oh, that's more like it. Look at that. Much better there. My goodness me. Far more like it. Now we can repair this as well. Thank you very much, sir. Hopefully bringing some... Let's end the turn. Let's see what happens here. Right, Spain. What will Spain do? What will their reaction be? Ooh, that's a powerful army there. Here we go. Looks like they start pulling forces away from... This to try and come again. Yes, yes, they're moving forces away from Rome. Here we go. Oh my gosh, we're cornered. We're trapped.
Enemy fleet ahoy!
Oh. Wow. What's that? That's roughly about 7,000 against 9,000, but we'll be able to set ourselves fair. This is the entire complement of Spanish forces here. Wow. Mind you, we do have some good cannon, plenty of cavalry. We're gonna have to dig in really hard here. We've got some wonderful reserves regiments here. Look at that. But the Spanish are coming with everything they've got here. Got to be on. This is going to be a very tough fight. A very tough fight indeed. Oh my goodness me, they got so many troops. They're going to come from behind everywhere. We're going to, oh my gosh, we're going to be absolutely bombarded here. But my friends, that is a battle for next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As always, my friends, thank you for your wonderful advice, comments, support. It's been absolutely fantastic. As always, please keep those comments coming down below. They've been absolutely wonderful. Whatever you do, my friends, as always, please be safe. But until next time, bye for now.